Hey everyone, we're back to oil, water, and Renban. And I thought I really needed to record this because I wasn't too happy with the way that I derived the letters. I think the explanation was a little bit jumbled. The conclusions were correct, but I'm not sure I did it in a particularly intuitive fashion for others to follow. Now, I tried re-recording this a few times. It doesn't fit in a minute, so whilst it is in the style of a short, it won't be a minute long. So the key to this whole thing is that these essentially in boxes 2, 5, and 8, in this sort of middle column block, we have two Renbans that are 5 cells long. And we know that means that they have to have the number 5 on them. Even if you go for extreme versions of 1 through to 5 or 5 through to 9, you can see the common number is a 5. Now, you can pick any letters, of course, to actually make this up. But I went with A, C, and E and B, D just to make it feel like it makes sense in my mind. It doesn't matter what they stand for right now, but as you sort of continue sort of this path, you'll very quickly start to make some very sensible deductions. Such as, what are these two letters? Well, they're not A, C, or E because they can see all of them. These have to be G or I. These two, well, clearly they're not B or D, because they're in the same cage, they have to be F and H. And now notice what is very interesting about these is, well, I don't have any common letters between them, and I have to have at least one common letter between them that has to go in here, because GI, F and H are not on this Renban. Which one is the 5? This is where you can make a decision. And my decision here is I'm going to make it an E just to make it intuitive for myself. Now, let's do a little bit more Sudoku as it actually helps us sort of conclude this. Where does G and I go in box 8? Well, it's not in these 3 cells. It's essentially in one of these 2 cells. Now, what we have in here now is definitely 2 extreme Renbans, because the only letter that they share in common is the E, which is the 5. Essentially, we are looking at either 1, 2, 3, 4 in this Renban, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the same is true for this Renban. It is either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Carries on getting more interesting. We need, this GI needs to be connected to this cell. And we know that this is belonging to on different sides of the 5, as we've concluded this from this Renban. Now, of course, if you need to be on different sides of the 5, you have to go through 5. So one of these clearly has to be a 5. This is the only one that is the 5, and that allows us to place all of the 5s in this block of boxes. Right, last thing that can actually help us conclude all of this. For the E, the 5, it has to be connected to an odd digit through 2 evens. Now, that single odd digit is either going to be 3 or 7. Can't be 1 or 9, because how am I going to get to it without passing through 3 or 7? And that is not an option with 2 evens. So this is 3 or 7, and therefore this is 1 or 9, because it's the other pair of digits that is on one side of the 5. Now, let's take a look at this one. This is, if you remember, as part of the solve that helped us conclude it. If this is 1, I've broken the puzzle, because these 2 cells will now have to add up to 19 to get to the 20 cage. Impossible. So the only possible option is this is a 9, this is a 7, this is a 5. These are 1, 3, these are 7, 9, this is another 5. These clearly now have to be 6 and 8, these have to be 2 and 4, and this has to be a 5. Now, completing the evens, this is 6 or 8. Well, we know it can't be a 6, because again, that would be this 15, and this would be a 5, which it already sees. So this is an 8, and this is a 3, and now we're off and racing. So hopefully you found this a lot more intuitive than my previous explanation, and it helps you sort of have that break-in once you actually have all of the colors down. Thank you. See you guys for the next puzzle. Bye-bye for now.